Hey, my name is PolishLynx and welcome to Sibling Experiment. So in the previous 4 episodes we basically got this and unlocked Tyler Super and Brotherly Love. I've done it. Alright, next. There is also another Brotherly Love that I want to unlock, that's for sure. The unlikely pairing and Skaters Forever. I don't need that. At least not on YouTube. I will do this for the sake of getting an achievement, but not regarding this. Eric Romancerant or Tyler's Romanent. Honestly, I don't think like TJ or Jasmine need to date any of those. Truth. I guess we could get that, but do we really need? I feel like the ending I got is like the best, and yeah. Jasmine, let's go. The best mysteries often remain unsolved. Is this going to be yet another one of them? I hope not. I've always been one to try and find logical answer for that unexplained, but I have to admit that there was something surreal about it. Supernatural even. You think it was God? Well, if it was his doing, he sure as heck taught me a lesson. So, if anyone ever needed to be taught a lesson, I would be the last person on the list. Or so I thought. Can you really blame me, Ifo? Top-notch school performances, on-fleek appearance without a hair out of place at any given moment, killer sense of fashion, and yeah, that's about it. I didn't really reflect upon myself before this took place, so it did not occur to me that I never had much going on. As far as I cared, I was perfection, and there was much point in perfecting perfection, was there? What life I had could be considered good. If not for this one giant obstacle that always tested my patience and tainted my reputation as one of the coolest kids at school. The one and only, the snoop named Eric. If I had the powers to, I would surely have cut him out of my life, and God knew how many times I was in fact scheming on that. Dropping off in the middle of nowhere, sending him flying across the ocean, and where I didn't care as long as I could keep him as far away from my sanitized, highly hygienic belongings as possible. But there was one thing hindering me from doing that, aside from me not having a driver's license or living anywhere near the beach. We lived under the same roof. And even more troublesome, we shared parents. Well, yeah, in other words, he was my brother. 1 month previously. Like you and another girl out there suffering with my sibling, I've had my share. I don't know that problem. I don't any of those. I've had my share of annoying brother problems, to name a few. Well, briefing around my favorite clothes. What? Refusing to drive me places. He's not your taxi driver. Being in a constant state of unrest in front of my friends. Maybe he has something to show them. And using my roll-on deodorant on his body. Yikes! Okay, I don't understand this one. It wasn't like he couldn't get his own, he was just that kind of nasty. It was nothing short of a miracle that I had survived the past 16 years of life with him. Eric! Hey sis. You left your toenail clippings all over the coffee table, you're not even civilized. He sniffed his armpit and looked at me disinterestedly. Okay, that's weird. I'm plenty civilized. Case in point. I have food on the table. Food and disgusting toenails do not mix. Why the hell do you leave your elephant toenails in the kitchen away? Take that to your little D&D cave upstairs. Say, have you ever tried eating toenails? What? The fact that you actually have the nerve to bring that up. Then how would you know they don't mix? Toenails could be nice sandwich addition. Oh, berry jam sandwiches, things, and toenails. Yum. Wanna try one? I'm telling a toenail sandwich right now. If there... He's disgusting. If these aren't enough, I haven't clipped my fingernails in about 3 weeks. Should be enough, Just how long those are? I just stared at him. Was he for real? How would one even proceed to go on with this disgusting talk? I hung my head, unsure whether to scream or cry. Does it matter? Let's cry, I guess. I was seriously bothered by this, and each time I angrily snapped at him, he irritated me further with his teasing attitude. It was like my feelings mattered little to none to him, and it stung because how dare him. This is a little embarrassing, but I kept thinking back of all of the times this had happened as I let out a little sniff. And then another sniffle. Before I knew it, there were tears streaming down my face, and I was on the cusp of fluctuating it with a wah. I was beyond frustrated and couldn't even force myself to snap out of it. Stupid tears! Hey, come on Jess, don't be like that. I was just kidding. Eric was just standing there awkwardly. That made me feel a little better, but it still didn't stop the tears. I still felt mistreated. All I did was staying as far away from him as possible, but all he did was trying to tick me off. What on earth did he want? Couldn't a girl have a little peace around here? I just didn't want to eat with his damn toenails all over the place every single time. Was that too much to dream of? Why do you always do this to me? It's just toenails, Jill. It's natural. Everyone clips their nails. It's not just toenails. Plus not everyone clips their nails and puts them on display around the house. I told him with a sniff and a slight shriek. Eric reluctantly handed me a tissue, which I smoothly ignored. I reached for some tissues of my own, as if I was going to touch anything he touched. It's all the disgusting things that you're always up to. It's the things that bother me, the things I keep telling you to stop doing. But you never listen. It almost seems like you're trying to be gross on purpose. Well, I'm not trying to be gross on purpose. I shook my head. Whatever you say, it's not like you actually care if anything bothers me, do you? Eric had him to open his mouth to respond, but I raised a hand to stop him on his track. I don't want to hear it. I had had enough of him today, and I was getting tired of my crying. Turning my head inside to go to my room with a heavy head. I managed to avoid him for the rest of the night. I knew this couldn't go on forever. Actually, being a high schooler that I was, I would have to deal with him the next day anyway. Eric drove me to school as per usual, but had his death metal music blasting the entire time, like always. For real though, what was with all this growling satanic noise he called music? He was such a loser. No, he was not. It was quite right with him constantly throwing me glasses and me casually ignoring. As we arrived at school, Eric tried to speak to me after a messed up sideways parking attendant, but I didn't even let him get the word out and slammed the passenger seat door in his face. The thing about Eric was that he did everything wrong, so when he tried to be nice it would be even worse than if he was purposely out to get me. For instance, he once let him to shove an apologetic slice of pizza under my door, but instead of soothing my damaged soul, it just got sauce everywhere. That was a stupid idea, Everywhere, from the door to my delicate carpet, and even more outrageous, all over my new shoes. I really don't understand why people have carpets. They're such a pain in the ass. And if you have animals, it's even more pain in the ass. His middle name should have really been Fail. Ouch. Eric Fail Jamison. Nah, not nice. It had a realistic ring to it. No. But it wasn't Fail. It was Doe. And he wasn't a fan of people knowing that, so it had to be our secret. Or not, now that I'm telling you all this. Like I owe him any favors, it's good mocking materials. And as if the 15-minute ride with him in the morning wasn't insufferable enough, he went to do the unthinkable. He tried to approach me at school. I didn't know why he did, and if I honestly didn't care. All I knew was I didn't want him anywhere near me in public. He should have known better than to approach me when I was in front of my friends of all people. They were the last people on earth whom I'd want to witness brother's grossness. On top of that, I had to dent a good Prada handbag by hitting him until he got the hint to retreat on and walk away. What a pain. Okay, that's too much, way too much. If there was one rule at home that I absolutely hated, it was the one regarding family dinners. Our parents were always busy, so they always made sure that when they did have time to sit down with us, we all had to gather together no matter what. Did anyone actually want to suffer this dinner together? I sure didn't. Mom and Dad were enough to deal with, but Eric took the cake, with that stupid 20-sided dice of his again, rolling the probability of him being able to take another bite of his meal. I want to shove the dice down his throat. The lamer part? My parents just sat there and continued on with their meals as if he wasn't an abnormal freak. They were usually distracted, as they were both chiropractors and had their own practice. We were only with them for dinner half the weekend. When they were here, they were usually talking shop. It was more of an obligation to be there. Their physical presence meant they were making an effort, which actually meant they didn't have to help mediate between us. They had an idea about how much I despised my brother, but apparently they thought acting like everything was just right would make things right, somehow. Newsflash! Nope. Nothing would ever get better because my parents would never actually do anything for us. They never did, and it didn't seem like they were going to start caring anytime soon. It sucked, and there was nothing I could do about it but sucking up my thoughts and half-heartedly responding to their empty questions. But just when I thought my dare was torturous enough, it got worse. Of course it did. I had just started working on some homework on my laptop when the lights flicked off out of nowhere. All of them in our whole 2-story house. I didn't even need to ponder on it for a second before the identity of the culprit came to my mind. Eric! There was somebody else playing. It was him. It had to be him. Whenever something strange happened in our house, the one behind everything would always be that insufferable older brother of mine. I was sure that the blackout just had to be his doing too. I had to pad out in my socks and cling to the wall to find out what was happening. I'm so gonna... Eric and everyone else had congregated in the upstairs family room, so they had just been waiting on me. Chess, sweetie, Daddy's calling the electrician. I couldn't help but sigh in frustration. What did I do? Try to plug in 3 back messengers at once again? Mom didn't even blink at my remark. She gave me a serious look, her scolding look to be precise, as if it would work on me. I wasn't 5 anymore. I returned her glare with an exasperated sigh. Oh, she's such a brat. Jess! Your brother knows very well that they are tools of the trade, not toys. That's understanding I gather he must have rejoined us. Great. That wasn't how it seemed last time. Jasmine! The disappointment and frustration in my parents' faces did not escape my eyes. Whatever. What did he know? Eric knew no such thing. Dogs learned faster than he did. Wow. You know what? She's a bitch! I wondered if we could trade him in at the pound. Honestly, it looks like she's more of a problem in that family, right? All of a sudden there was a loud chewing in my ear, like a cow chewing its cat. It was one thing to hear something like that in the light day, but in pitch black it definitely freaked me out. Oops, 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 oops. I shrieked and reached out to push the figure next to me away. You creep, get away from me! He just started laughing really hard, as if it was the most hilarious thing when it clearly wasn't. Much to my utmost irritation. I couldn't take it longer and stormed back to my bedroom. On the way there, hearing my parents address each other about me with concern, as if I was the problem in the family. Well, technically... I wouldn't say you aren't. They weren't even going to pretend they cared about my predicament. I mean, she definitely wants to be the basically like center of the world over there. Gina, are you going to deal with this or should I? It's alright, I'll go. Now my mother was hot on my tail, huh? I heard her set follow mine, but I had a head start of a minute. I didn't want to talk or whatever it was she had in mind, I just knew she was going to make everything worse. What's gotten into Jasmine? It's either adolescence or you, but I bet it's the latter. A moment later my mother was already banging on the door to my room. After the brief answer the other. Jess, listen to me. Your brother has a lot to do with, you have to understand it. Like what? Sitting on the couch as soon as he could go, wasting his life away playing dumb video games, listening to satanic screams. You know how it is with teens his age, don't you? He's older and... She was still talking, still. She had to be kidding me. How the hell should I have known, and why should I care what he had to deal with? What about me and my fleets? Okay, ma'am, I'm going to stop you right there. Not like I actually paid attention to where she was getting at anymore. There was just his boiling rage welling up in me now, and I had to let it out. What did I even do? Am I interpreting this wrong, or are you bluntly saying to my face that I'm the wrong one here? I mean, you are. Are you even listening to yourself? We were always finding excuses for him to justify his stupid ways, and thanks to that, he's never responsible for anything. He'll never stop being as creepy as he is now, thanks to you. Jess. Calm down, won't you? You're being disrespectful not only to brother, but even me. I'm being disrespectful? How come I don't get to speak for myself? Why do you and that know? Even Eric, why does everyone always disregard everything I say, Mom? Do my words have no value at all? I mean, given the way you basically treat everyone, yes, I would say they have no value at all. I'm not trying to restrain as I but failed, though I could see that she practically viewed me as a bother. Yeah, Mom, I didn't want to have this conversation either. It's nothing like that. Oh, it exactly was like that. We hear you, but you have to start seeing things in our perspective too. Only then we'll be able to live as how a normal family should. Maybe we would be a bit more like a normal family if you weren't gone all the time, but of course that's out of the question. I'd not just actually say that. Mom stared at me in disbelief as if I just struck a knife to her abandonment, her mouth hung open. As much as me and Eric hate the fact that our parents were never around, we tried our best to not let it show. It was getting out of hand. I was getting so worked up, I felt myself losing self-control by the second. If you come here just to tell me how horrible of a person you think I am and how Eric is not your fault, it's a joke and that's that. Please just leave, I don't want to hear any more of this. She sighed again, sounding tired. She must have been tired to have a couple of children like us. I'd be tired too if I was given Eric failed Jameson as my son, poor mom. Honestly, you are. I honestly feel like she's the real pain in the ass for that family. She seriously thinks like she's the perfect person. I could feel her gaze follow me for someone, but I didn't meet her eyes. When she reached the door, Mom turned around and spoke in a soft voice. You know, we have the letterbox on our door for all your thoughts. You should try using it sometime. Alright, the letterbox, I absolutely forgot. I have to admit that wasn't particularly initiative there. It was that they were too busy to personally listen to us, so instead we could put our problems on paper for them to get to when they had a free time. Free minute. Good in theory, but if they read anything I'd ever written there before, they hadn't shown it. Like when I wrote a note to put in the box that outlined how my history teacher said I had a promising future career as a teacher, like, you, no thanks, and then Mom said she had no idea what I'd be good at when car day rolled around. Really. What's that? You don't even have the time to read? Thinking about it got me even more enraged. And you know what? I had every right to be angry. And that's bullshit. The light flicked back on just in time for me to give my mother a very pointed look. I suppose I should have been relieved that the interruption to my night had been relatively minor, but it had opened up a whole new can of worms. Namely, how I was going to go living in the presence of such an obnoxious freak, especially with my parents singing praises about him and rationalizing everything that he did. And my mom, having nothing to say to my last remark, came out with a final blow. You can't choose your family, but the least you can do is try and live with what you have. Enlightening, Mom. She didn't understand me, like everyone else. I mean, I don't even want to really freaking understand you because you believe you are super perfect. Person like that is just someone that you don't feel a reason to understand at all, to be honest. She responded to my "if looks could kill" glare with a grimace and finally disappeared behind the door. To tell the truth, I was half expecting her to realize what she said just said. returned to my room and apologized to me. Why would she do that? So when the door actually opened minutes later, I looked up accidentally onto the daggers at the head that popped up. I didn't count on it being my brother instead. My brother, that 2-0 chance of the cheater, was getting his grubby hands in my face of anxiety. Unacceptable. I grabbed the tissue from the tissue box on my bedside table and paced back over the expanse of the room to wipe out the doorknob. Knock, this room has no disgusting pig policy, and don't even touch my doorknob or anywhere without wiping yourself down first! Told you, Jasmine is a bitch. I had always been a bit of a neat freak, no shame in that. Eric, on the other hand, was a complete mess. How were we even related again? The chewing in your ear thing was funny, don't be so uptight. Take a joke, Jazz, it's good for you sometimes. I should give me a glare. Oh, okay, I'll take a joke, so would if your stacks of jam jokes are even remotely funny. You being dirty on the other hand is no joke, we're acting like a slop. I don't act, that's a natural. He sniffed his bits and then stretched out his arms to me. That's twice per day. That I had witnessed, okay, that's nasty. I was done. You upset? Now how about a makeup haggles? He started to laugh toward me, and I could almost smell his grossness emanating from that freaky bound t-shirt that he probably had washed in 3 weeks. I screamed, no way was I going to let him. I pushed Eric out the door and slammed it on him. He didn't really protest. Once outside, he spoke with the door separating us. If you weren't such a daddy's girl, I would so. Daddy's girl? If only Reika. If I were daddy's girl, maybe Dad would give a shit about how I feel, maybe Mom. I asked myself and I was getting carried away. Shaking my head, I went back to bed, burying my head in my pillows. I had had enough of this for tonight. That was just my usual day with Eric Jameson, the world's worst older brother. Maybe it's actually... Okay, aside from what he's doing, like sniffing armpits, nah. I mean, what it's the world's worst younger sister in actuality? Kill me. Next day was Saturday, no school, so that was alright, I guess. Even if I had a rough night last night with the real jerk, I decided to be the bigger person and forgive Eric. Or maybe it was just a teeny tiny bit, because I really needed to the mall since I told my friends I'd meet them there at 10 as per the usual Saturday morning routine. Hopefully he rejected, to be honest. I really hope he did. I opened the door to the sty and stepped in without holding my nose. See, I was way more mature than my 16 years. And there the sloth laid, snoring, sleeping on his stomach with a little bit of a drool in the corner of his mouth and his stringy brown hair falling over one of his eyelids. My hand shot out to shook him and I meant to remind myself to purify them later. Eric! Wake up, I need to take me to the mall! He opened an eye, but instead of getting up, reached out his hand to feel under his pillow and pulled something out from there. I didn't know what he kept under. Of course it was that thing. A normal guy would have magazine or clothes under there, but my brother? Oh no, he was far from normal. There it was, his D&D dice. They're all... Wait. Alright. Under a pillow. Clothes. Why would I have clothes under a pillow? I didn't get you. Magazine? No. Why would I have a magazine under a pillow? Come on. There is a risk that the pages would be torn. That's not how it works, Jasmine. He rolled the small dice on the carpeted floor. No dice. What do you mean, no dice? Taking into account my dexterity of a 4 and my regular sleeping patterns, you would need a 20 to get me out of bed before 1. Their eyes read 15. 1 in 20 odds. How was that fair? Come on, be a big brother for once, Eric, I need you. Come on, don't be a princess and go on foot. Or take a bath. He would have budged. Now I remembered why it was a mistake to forgive him. Yeah, like you had something to forgive. Wake me if you want to play D&D. Eric gradually spoke with both of his eyes closed.
You know where I'm going to stick the dice if you don't take me, don't you?
Eric just rolled over. Be my guest. I have several hidden all around the house.
Where the...
I threw my arms in the air and left his room. I gave up. Good. I'm glad that he basically refused. I went back to my room and hit my head on my desk repeatedly. It hurt. Good. I felt like I was stuck in a nightmare with no way out. I don't know. I mean, I feel like TJ wasn't so bad. I kind of understood why she might have gotten angry back in her story, but Jasmine is just like that type of princess that is annoying as hell. Anyway, sorry, couldn't drive me. What now? Disappointing game where you can decide. Where is it that Jasmine should spend her day? Click on the area of the map you would like her to go.
I don't know, let's go to school for example.
Wait a minute. Today was Saturday, so why should I have been at school?
No one was around as we would expect.
Now I had to go back home on my own, all the way back home. I don't know what I was thinking. I must have been getting angry because Eric had been so over top annoying lately. Without Eric to drive me, that means walking back home. My shoes were going to be totally ruined. Never mind, I had me shopping in like 3 days. I'd stop by the mall and pick out some new pairs. We'll see about that. Later evening, I was still steaming. I knew what I had to do. I opened up my computer and set up my recording equipment, making sure everything was in order before I started my round. To be honest, I didn't usually resort to this, but when it gets too much, you just know you have to get this lump of anger off your chest. Making vlogs was my way of doing just that.
So, my brother is a total complete jackass, a genetically mutated creep. He is outrageous, not that I haven't already mentioned all that in my previous vlogs.
Now that I think about it, I bet the comments under there were probably positive because of her cleavage. Normal people would actually say to her to state the reason for those words, because, I mean, aside from sniffing his armpits, I have nothing to say that there's anything bad about him, right? Besides, we know already a little bit about him.
He acts nothing like his age, so I feel like I'm dealing with a 5-year-old whenever I have to bear his presence. I'm pretty sure his one and only goal in life is to piss me off because he always looks like he's been terrible his life whenever he manages to poke fun of me.
He's not poking fun of you.
I wish he would just get off my case, but of course he would never. You know what, maybe I wouldn't have minded making contacts with him all that much if he wasn't this terribly nasty. I mean, like this tiny, disgusting kind of nasty. And he has the nerve to say that he's not like this on purpose. What would possess a person to be utterly gross anyway? He doesn't even have to work at it, it's just like his natural state, the ever state of grossness. Almost forgot I even wrote a limerick about him, it goes like this. The loser king should have been his name. The only meaning of his life is damn game. He forfeited friends for a life of pretend. Tell me that's not incredibly lame. If I could, I would never incarnate as his sister again. I would have written a better poem, but then again, it wouldn't be up to his level.
Or maybe you're not creative enough to do that. That helped. The next morning I did my best to avoid Eric after what he put me through yesterday. It wasn't particularly hard since being as lazy as he was, he slept in. Whoop. It was still the weekend. What reason I have to go to school? Was this some kind of prank? Yes, it's the prank from PolishLynx. It was pretty much all closed up anyway. What a waste of a day. Yes, that's my goal, waste your days. When the day was finally over, I went back home to see Eric had only just woken up. What a complete loser. Chris looking tousled hair and still with his pajamas on, how could he live like that? Normally. I gave him my best colored hymn, but he didn't even seem to care.
Why are you always here?
Well, it's my house too, isn't it?
Whatever, the least you can do is get out of my face when I'm home.
Good complaints. Stick it in Mom and Dad's pity box. It was just then that I looked over to the box in front of him. Mom said I should try using it last night. Mom and Dad's pity box. Huh. But I actually got something right for once. They were trying to have us believe that they took letters more seriously than just sending them text. But while a text would be an instant notice, how often did they check this box away? What were they actually expecting? It obviously was a desperate attempt, and none of us just bothered pointing that out. Eric never even wrote anything. Because he probably tries to deal with the situation himself, right? I however put something in the box whenever I felt like it. Yes, because you are this perfect princess and everything around you is just not perfect, right? And it just must be corrected to be your way. I'm getting really negative at Jasmine. And I think I'm correct. Actually, I put a poem in there earlier this morning. Remembering that, my heart froze. The poem.
Huh?
There's something in here.
Put it back!
I tried to reach for the piece of paper he was holding, but Rick dodged me swiftly. Why do you even put stuff in this box? It's not like they ever read it. Do not fret, sister, leave it to me, I'll play the part. He squinted his eyes exaggeratedly and started to read aloud. My heart is cold, a story left untold. My heart started to race faster than it had ever been.
Stop, I said! Put it back! Put it back, Eric!
I hadn't shared that with anybody and it was supposed to be for Mom and Dad's eyes only. Well, if they ever got around to it, but that didn't matter right now. So maybe I was even taking a gamble that they would understand it, that they would feel something, but now, Eric had read it, out of all people. Eric, this stuff gets old, don't you have anything better to whine about? I'd like to see some variations. Eric put the paper down for a moment. The racing heart stopped, and then it felt like a person that had just had a hammer taken to it. He was making fun of it. He hated it.
Wait, what? What do you mean by that?
By what?
Have you read my order?
As if to further irritate me, Eric quickly took my marker from the coffee table and started scaling something on it as he responded. Oh yeah, deaf. You're a 10 times more darting over poetry, by the way. You know what, you should write a play or something. You seem to have a knack for making the simplest things out to be some sort of tragedy. See this part right here, it's...
Shut up. Shut the hell up.
Eric seemed to be caught off guard with my sudden outburst. He stopped speaking mid-sentence and I snatched the paper from my hands. In the heated moment, I tore it to pieces in tears. Okay, so basically, I know he reads this. I mean, technically, maybe it's not really that bad of a thing, because your parents don't read those things. And he kind of gives you basically the advice of what you might follow. And you go into an outburst? Seriously? Wow. Feeling so exposed, I fled to my room as fast as my legs would take me, not bothering to hold back a choked sob. I mean, I don't know what the paper was about, but apparently it wasn't that terrible. Given his reaction. Or more like lack of reaction. I stared down at my hands. Why did I do that? I tore it up, my feelings, and just... It wasn't like Eric hadn't already stepped over them before that fall. I turned to my laptop. I wonder if anyone had watched the round I put up last night. Should I make anyone about what just happened?
What?
I shook away the thoughts. I didn't even want to talk about it right now. Instead, I scrolled to release my previous videos. My brother is worse than yours. Survival guide. How to stay sane when brother is an annoying prick. A younger sister's confession. Most of them seemed pretty angst-ridden. Not that I didn't have valid reasons for them. Speaking of sisters, I never really dreamed of having a younger sister. And now I'm kind of worried she might turn out into something like that if I had one. And... ouch, that scares me a lot. I'd prefer having older sister if anything. I think I'd be able to get along with that. Anyway. There were like my video layers. They didn't have a lot of views, but didn't matter. It was probably better that way. In fact, none of my friends knew about this ranting account. It was a sign that I didn't feel comfortable showing to anyone I knew, but there was no way for them to know anyway. Except for Eric. After what just happened, I could say that I would mind if Eric saw this. Maybe I should even show them to him. My cell phone's out drunk, cutting off my train of thoughts. I picked it up eventually without looking at the color. Whoever it was, I was just going to tell them to piss off. Yeah, I was in that kind of mood.
Hey!
Stand by for a courier.
What? I didn't order!
This, maybe someone else ordered something for me, possibly salute me for putting up with my asshole for brother. Maybe secret admirer. I had a few of those scripts. Realizing there was no longer anyone on the other end of the phone, I hung up the sound of knocking at the door. That was odd. Deliverers didn't often come with a phone call announcement. I answered the door with trepidation, albeit it was that swear scared that I had emailed a picture of to my dad. A buffalo man with a blue baseball cap stood right in the doorway. I wasn't great at gauging ages, but he seemed to be in his late 20s or early 30s, and my cousin Mark's age 29 without the adult acting info. Thankfully. I guess he was kind of attractive, if I went for an ancient guys. Being 24, am I an ancient guy? Which I didn't. That was more of Sandra's thing, to be honest. She always, no. She always drolled over experienced dudes, but in truth they mostly just looked the part. Like when other freshman students, she was always trying to get the attention of seniors. I didn't bother with that my brother was senior and just look at him. Hello?
Oh yeah.
I just zoned out a bit right there. Press your finger here inside. He held out an unlocking device inside, trying to steal a glance behind him as I did. Where was the package for? Now that I thought about it, I didn't see him holding anything. I hope it goes well for you. The man turned to leave.
Hold it! Don't you have something for me?
He turned back momentarily. Transaction is complete.
But...
Now you're scared?
What did I just sign for then? What are you going on about?
The sibling experiment, you just signed yourself up.
What? That weird quiz yesterday?
Seeing as I just stood in days, he left before I could ask any more about it. That was weird. I hope it didn't include selling my organs or something. Keep cool, Jasmine. It's probably just some playing pretend game. Who knows, maybe you'll wake up without organs. A while later, I still couldn't wrap my head around how they knew where I was when there came a knock on my bedroom door. I tried to turn out, thinking it was Eric coming to apologize. It wasn't him, of course. Would Eric knock? Though it kind of bothered me that it wasn't him. What the hell was his problem? I wasn't going to forgive him, but he could have at least said he was sorry, or acted like he was. That was the decent thing to do, wasn't it? Sometimes I wondered where he got his manners from. Honey, did he even grow up in the same household as me, or was his brain absent all these years? I got up to open it for my mom, because I had actually been learning good manners all these years and knew what was the decent thing to do. Mom was still dressed in her work clothes, and it was apparent my parent had just gotten home.
I heard about the problem, Eric told us. Mom, he scribbled red on my thoughts and feelings, I heard, but you misunderstood, Jess. If you'd just take a moment to actually process what he was trying to say. He was making fun of me, Mom. Why do you take his side of story but wants it to be mine? And even now, you're still defending him.
Anyone would fucking defend him, you...
I'm not defending one here. I'm trying to get you to understand the things weren't how you thought they were. Funny, you weren't even there. How would you know how things were? Drop it, Mom. Eric's an insensitive prick, and he will always be an insensitive prick.
Yeah, I think you're speaking about yourself.
Jasmine, you can't just always lay everything on Eric. You overreacted. Tearing it up was necessary. I didn't mean like that. I'm having a totally normal, understandable reaction of my woman getting mocked. It's just who You who are overreacting.
Okay, so he said that you could write a freaking... He said you could write tragedies, and you claim he mocked you.
God damn it!
Can someone please smack her in the face?
Anyway, if it's like you said, where is Eric? Why are he here? Why he doesn't have the guts to come forward? Let me, does he?
Jasmine, Jamison, where are your manners? Have some self-control! You cannot keep speaking to me like this! If you keep this up, you're grounded, understood? Was she kidding me? Ground you for something he did? He provoked me, he made her come here to lecture me. Possibly, he gave her his misleading side of the story as well. What the hell was this misunderstanding about?
But ma'am, it's ridiculous, you never listen to me!
We trust Eric's judgment, Jasmine. So this was what it came down to. They believed him so because of the fact that he was older, even though he had all the maturity of a 5-year-old. I mean, technically you have the maturity of a 5-year-old, but okay. Come on. There might have, well, been rain clouds over my head with how dark I was staring down my mother. I said one final thing before slamming the door in her face. Grounded, you thought I'd fear that.
Shame on you then.
Jasmine, come back out here! Jasmine? I could hear her banging the door, but I didn't care anymore. She could think whatever she wanted. Why did I have to deal with this when I was the one who was getting insulted? Yeah, right. Was there no justice in this world anymore? I closed my eyes, trying to calm my breathing. Mom mumbled something and seemed to have left. This was getting old. That was what he said to me, damn it. Whatever, Eric was a blatant liar and that was just a fact.
What?
If she trusts him, shame on her. I would say it's good that she trusts him and not you, because you're... whatever. Jasmine is freaking annoying.
I don't like her, I really don't.
Anywho, let's end this episode. The episode of me being pissed at Jasmine, who is pissed at her brother for no real reason, not really. I mean, no matter how you look at it, over there, he meant it in a good way. God damn it, he literally suggested you that you have a talent, you have a knack for writing tragedies, and you say that, that's ridiculous. God damn it. Alright, let's end it here. I will see you tomorrow. Hope to see you tomorrow. Bye bye.